everyone, Jeff and Jay here with another edition of Jay's Big Adventure. Jay's the Fuzzy Guy, and today we are doing an LED headlight upgrade. During the winter months here in Salt Lake City, I drive a limo and take clients to and from the airport and up to the ski resorts. In Utah, a limo is a dark gray or black Suburban with black leather. This thing has the worst headlights of any vehicle I've driven in probably 30 years. We've got a bunch of BMWs in the family. I've got my M3 convertible, Laura has her Z4. We've got a couple of Toyotas. And the lights on this thing would be comically bad if it weren't for the fact that it's dangerous. Driving up and down the canyons at night, it is really dark. There are deer, there are coyotes, there are moose, which are the size of a small house. And if you hit one of those, it's really, really bad. So we're upgrading these standard lights with LED bulbs. Now, this upgrade can be done on pretty much any vehicle, and the process is going to be the same. Pretty much any Chevy truck or SUV is going to be just like this. But whether it's Toyota, Honda, Chevy, Ford, what you're trying to do is get the bulb out and replace it with a much more powerful unit. That's what we're going to do today. Step one is going to be to open the hood and see where the bulbs actually live. So as you can see, these lights are just pretty awful. Not only is there not a lot of light, but the pattern is very, very poorly shaped. You've got quite a bit of light over on the edges, and a whole bunch right here, and then right in the middle, which ends up being in the center of your lane when you're driving, there's a significant drop in light output. So you have these bright spots on the right and the left, and then nothing where you really need it. So one of the things that we're hoping to achieve with this LED light upgrade is not only significantly more light output, but also a much better beam pattern as well. Alright, so this is another take on trying to show just how terrible these lights are, and you can see a little bit of light. It actually is brighter in the camera than it is in real life. This is really difficult to see, and you can see the beam pattern is just terrible. There's this very, very bright section off on this side over by the yellow line, and there's a part over by the white line, but the center is really dark. And if I put the high beams up, there's quite a bit of light, but the lows are just awful. And right smack in the middle of the road, which is where I really need to see, there's nothing. Jay has our new LEDs here and the bulb that we took out, and as you can see, the blue coloring on the bulb is starting to come off, so these lamps were probably not going to last that long anyway. This is a set from Audu, where an LED conversion kit is supposed to be plug and play. One of the reasons I went with this type bulb is that the LED elements are 360 degrees all the way around the bulb. On a lot of these, they're just on a plate, and you can see them, and they'll have yellow LED on this side and on the middle of the back, but there's an edge, and that does affect the pattern of the light output. Because these go all the way around, they're supposed to mimic the H11 bulb that we took out. And you can see these had a blue coating on it, and that's starting to come off. It's another reason why it was time to change these out, but we're going to give these a whirl. This should plug into the factory connector, and this little box is supposed to tell the car that the bulbs are okay, even though they are not the same style as the original. If it doesn't have this, it'll just throw a light on the dash saying that you've got a headlight bulb out, even when you don't. Step one is going to be to open the hood. Whew! You can tell this is a work truck. This thing's a mess. But to get to the headlights, we just need to come around to the back and undo this cap right here. The cap just turns 1/8 of a turn and comes right out. Step one is just to connect the connector and then install the bulb. So the bulb is tabbed so that it only goes in one way. When you're done, the wire should go straight down. Now we're going to replace the cap. The passenger side is quite a bit more involved, but it's still not bad. For starters, we're going to take this connector off, and as you can see, somebody has been in here before. There's typically a little red plastic tab that you lift up and then wiggle this connector off of here. This one has been broken, and so it is taped on. You unwrap the tape and lift that entire connector off of the airflow sensor. If you can't get that connector off, you can always take those screws off and just lift the assembly out. Once that's done, we're going to loosen this clamp, pull these bellows back, and then remove these screws. There's one here, one here, one here, and there used to be one down in here, but that one's gone. The top of the airbox lifts off, the air filter element slides out, and then you have to yank the entire bottom of the airbox out, and it just clips in. So you get your hand in there, yank it up, and once that is out of the way, then you can get down in here to replace that passenger side headlight. Well, I'll tell you what, I hope this turns out on video, but this is an astonishingly different pattern than there was before. Not only is there a lot more light on the sides, but the consistency through here, which is where the problem was, there were these big holes right where you were seeing in the middle of your lane. It's just gone, and the light is completely smooth from full right to full left. I'm really impressed. Now let's see how it drives. Well, I tell you what, I wish I had had these lights in here a bunch earlier. I am going up I-80 out of Park City back towards Salt Lake, and I've got 4 lanes of traffic now, and I can see across all 4 lanes. That just was not the case earlier. It was literally hard to see where I was going in a straight line up this hill because I didn't have enough light output to see where I was going. And now it's really easy to stay in my lane and to see exactly what's going on. So I'm really impressed. This was, without question, the best 55 bucks I could have put into the safety of this vehicle. I'm glad I did it. I highly recommend looking at the new style LEDs. And that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Please like, please share, please subscribe, and we'll have more videos out soon.